In Taiwan, they release wishes into the sky on paper lanterns. But the real magic happens when strangers become family over a bowl of soup at 2 a.m. This island democracy, smaller than West Virginia, guards secrets that could change how you see community, love, and what it means to be free. Here, dating apps compete with matchmaking aunties who can size up your marriage potential in one temple visit, and somehow, both win. What you're about to discover will shatter everything you thought you knew about modern Asia. These aren't just facts about Taiwan, they're windows into the soul of a place that shouldn't exist, yet thrives against all odds. 15 revelations that will leave you questioning your own definition of home, freedom, and human connection. If you're ready to see the world differently, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you'll want to be here for what comes next. Stay until the end, because I need to know. After hearing these stories, would you trade your life for theirs? The answer might surprise you. Number 1. The midnight democracy that never sleeps. At 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday, democracy looks like this. A 7-Eleven where you can pay your taxes, buy concert tickets, and get relationship advice from the clerk, all while a politician's campaign poster watches from the window. Taiwan has more convenience stores per capita than anywhere on Earth. But these aren't just shops, they're the beating heart of the world's most accessible democracy. Here, civic life never sleeps because the community never sleeps. Every 0 people share one store. That's closer than most families live to each other. These glass-fronted temples of convenience transform neighborhoods into extended living rooms where democracy happens naturally, organically, at all hours. The clerks become unofficial community leaders, processing everything from utility bills to concert tickets, from lottery dreams to late-night confessions. They know who's struggling with money, who's celebrating new love, who needs a friendly word at 3 a.m. Tell me in the comments, would 24/7 access to everything make your community stronger or just more chaotic? But if you think convenience stores are impressive, wait until you see what happens when an entire society eats together. Number 2. The soup that decides who you really are. In Taiwan, your character isn't measured by your job or your car. It's measured by your beef noodle soup order. Thick noodles or thin, clear broth or rich, pickled vegetables or raw garlic. These aren't just preferences, they're identity markers that reveal everything from your hometown to your personality type. The island has over 10 zero-beef noodle shops, each with secret recipes guarded like state secrets. Locals say you can understand someone's entire family history from how they customize their bowl. Northern refugees prefer thick wheat noodles floating in tomato-rich broth. Southern natives choose thin rice noodles in clear, herb-scented stock. Masters spend decades perfecting their broths. Some simmer beef bones for 24 hours straight. Others blend spices in ratios passed down through generations. Every bowl carries cultural DNA, family memories, and regional pride distilled into liquid comfort. Here's what's fascinating. This national dish didn't even exist until 1949, when mainland Chinese refugees brought their techniques to local ingredients. In 70 years, it became more Taiwanese than anything that came before. But the most beautiful ritual happens every evening at precisely 6 p.m. Number 3. The Symphony of Survival. When Beethoven's Für Elise echoes through Taiwanese neighborhoods, it's not a concert, it's a community. Every evening, the island transforms into a choreographed dance. Neighbors emerge from apartments carrying meticulously sorted waste, converging at street corners like they're answering a sacred call. No public trash cans exist here. Instead, this musical ritual forces daily human contact. Strangers become neighbors. Neighbors become friends. All because of garbage. The melody grows louder as the truck approaches, and suddenly apartment buildings are empty. Elderly women teach young mothers proper recycling techniques. Children play between their parents' legs, while adults catch up on neighborhood gossip. Business cards are exchanged over biodegradable waste. Taiwan recycles 60% of its waste, one of the highest rates globally. But the real magic isn't environmental, it's social. In a world of digital isolation, they've turned taking out trash into taking care of each other. What would happen to your neighborhood if everyone had to meet face-to-face every single day? Share your thoughts below. I'm genuinely curious about your community rituals. This communal spirit runs deeper than daily routines. It's literally built into the landscape. Number 4. The democracy that soaks together. While most democracies debate in parliament buildings, Taiwan's real politics happen naked in hot springs. Beitu's public hot springs don't just heal bodies, they heal social divisions. CEOs sit next to taxi drivers. Students debate with grandparents. When you're wearing nothing but hot water, hierarchy dissolves. The island sits on a volcanic belt with over 100 hot spring sites. But these aren't luxury resorts. They're democratic institutions where social class evaporates like steam. The mineral-rich waters draw everyone from stressed office workers to retired generals, all seeking the same basic comfort. In these thermal pools, conversations flow as naturally as the heated water. Political differences get discussed without getting personal. Business deals are made with handshakes between people who met while floating in sulfurous bliss. Japanese colonial influence brought hot spring culture, but Taiwanese democracy transformed it. Here, the most important conversations happen when you're most vulnerable. Imagine if your most crucial decisions were made while completely relaxed, surrounded by equals. Would your politics be different? Your community stronger? But the island's most powerful democracy isn't political at all. Number 5. The gods who vote. Every year, 3 million people walk 330 kilometers in the world's largest democratic religious festival, and no politician organizes it. The Mazu pilgrimage isn't just worship, it's direct democracy in action. Communities vote on routes, organize supplies, and make decisions that affect entire cities, all for a goddess who protects fishermen. 9 days and 8 nights of walking. Free food for everyone. Medical teams volunteer, temples open their doors, strangers house strangers, all without government coordination. The pilgrimage operates like a moving city, complete with mobile hospitals, communication networks, waste management, and security systems. Decisions get made collectively, resources shared freely, and conflicts resolved through consultation rather than authority. Here's the miracle. In a politically divided island, this religious democracy unites everyone. Buddhist temples help Christian volunteers feed Islamic pilgrims. Faith transcends difference. When 3 million people can organize themselves without conflict, what does that say about human nature? Type 1 in the comments if you think democracy works better when it's spiritual. 2 if you think religion complicates politics too much. This community's spirit shapes everything in Taiwan, including how they find love. Number 6. Love in the time of algorithms and aunties. In Taiwan, artificial intelligence competes with ancient wisdom for your love life, and somehow, both are winning. Dating apps dominate among the young, but temple matchmakers still arrange 40% of marriages. The secret? Both understand that love isn't just about 2 people, it's about 2 communities. Matchmaking aunties analyze family backgrounds, financial stability, and astrological compatibility. Dating apps analyze swipe patterns, message response times, and shared interests. Different methods, identical goal. Harmony. The traditional matchmakers set up elaborate meetings that feel like diplomatic negotiation. Birth charts get consulted, family histories examined, and financial prospects evaluated. It's love through the lens of long-term sustainability rather than immediate attraction. What's uniquely Taiwanese is the integration. Modern couples still seek family approval. Progressive parents trust their children's digital choices. Technology serves tradition, not replaces it. The island has one of Asia's lowest divorce rates, despite or because of this double-layered approach to love. When algorithms and aunties agree, marriages last. Here's my question for you. Would you trust an algorithm or a matchmaking auntie with your heart? The comments should be interesting on this one, but perhaps the most intense relationship in Taiwan isn't romantic at all. Number 7. The education that never sleeps. At 10:47 p.m. on a school night, these streets are brighter and busier than Times Square. Welcome to Taiwan's shadow education system. After regular school ends, real school begins. Buxaban cram schools operate until midnight, preparing students for exams that will determine their entire futures. This shadow system employs more teachers than the official education system. Star cram school teachers earn celebrity salaries and have fan clubs. Education is entertainment. Competition is culture. The best instructors become household names. Their teaching methods analyzed like sports strategies. Students line up for hours to enroll in famous teachers' classes. Educational success gets treated with the same intensity as professional athletics. The pressure produces results Taiwan students consistently rank in global top 10 for math and science. But at what cost? Teenage depression rates soar alongside test scores. Yet, families embrace this intensity because education remains the most reliable path to social mobility. In a democracy where merit matters most, academic achievement becomes sacred duty. Would you sacrifice your teenager's sleep for their future success? The comments will reveal a lot about cultural values, what matters most, where you're from. This relentless drive shapes every aspect of Taiwanese life, even how they eat breakfast. Number 8. The morning that fuels democracy. At 5:30 a.m., while the world sleeps, Taiwan's democracy awakens over soy milk and political gossip. Breakfast shops aren't just restaurants, they're the island's morning parliament. Taxi drivers debate policy with teachers. Retirees analyze election prospects with business owners, all over steamed buns and egg crepes. Every neighborhood has its breakfast democracy, small family-run shops serving identical menus but unique conversations. The food is standardized. The opinions are wildly diverse. These morning gatherings operate with unwritten rules of engagement. Everyone gets to speak, but nobody gets to dominate. Disagreements remain civil because everyone knows they'll be back tomorrow morning, sitting at the same plastic tables. Here's what's remarkable. Despite intense political divisions, breakfast conversations remain civil. Neighbors disagree passionately but respectfully. Food creates common ground. This morning, ritual built modern Taiwan. When martial law ended in 1987, these shops became the first spaces where people could speak freely. Democracy literally began over breakfast. Tell me, does your morning routine connect you to your community, or do you eat alone? I'm curious how different cultures start their democratic days. This grassroots democracy created something unprecedented in human history. Number 9. The miracle that physics forgot. In 90 minutes, you can travel from subtropical beaches to snow-capped mountains, from ancient temples to futuristic cities. Taiwan bent the laws of geography. The high-speed rail connects 23 million people across 345 kilometers of the world's most geographically compressed diversity. Tropical south to temperate north, agricultural plains to industrial megacities. But here's the engineering miracle. This railway system operates in one of the world's most seismically active zones. Typhoons, earthquakes, and monsoons regularly test its limits. It rarely fails. Sensors detect earthquakes 10 seconds before trains feel them, automatically stopping 300-kilometer-per-hour bullet trains safely. It's like predicting the future every single day. The trains themselves become mobile communities. Business people commute between cities like others commute between neighborhoods. Students attend universities hundreds of kilometers from home while still eating dinner with their families. More than transportation, this railway unified the island's identity. Taipei business executives can live in Tainan's ancient alleys. Mountain farmers can access international markets. Geography became choice, not destiny. What would happen if your entire country could be crossed in 90 minutes? How would that change where you live, work, and call home? The implications are staggering. This compression of space created something even more remarkable, a collision between ancient and modern that shouldn't work, but does. Number 10. The temples that stop time. In the heart of modern Taipei, a 280-year-old temple operates exactly as it did in 1738 while stock traders check phone apps between prayers. Longshan Temple hosts Buddhist deities, Taoist immortals, and folk gods under one roof. Bankers pray for profitable deals. Students beg for exam success. Politicians seek electoral blessing. Ancient gods manage modern problems. The architectural details tell Taiwan's story. Dutch colonial tiles, Japanese era woodwork, Qing dynasty stone dragons, and modern LED lighting systems. Every renovation adds layers, never replaces them. Elderly temple volunteers teach smartphone-carrying executives how to properly light incense, how to bow respectfully, and how to make requests that honor both tradition and personal ambition. Ancient wisdom guides modern anxieties. What's extraordinary isn't the age, it's the continuity. Temples function as community centers, meditation spaces, historical museums, and social services hubs simultaneously. They adapt without abandoning. In a rapidly modernizing society, temples provide emotional stability. They're proof that progress doesn't require forgetting. Tradition becomes foundation, not obstacle. Could your community benefit from spaces that honor the past while embracing the future? What would that look like where you live? Share your vision in the comments. This balance between old and new prepared Taiwan for its greatest challenge yet. Number 11. The mountain that teaches democracy. At 952 meters, Yushan isn't just Northeast Asia's highest peak, it's Taiwan's greatest democracy teacher. Every year, 0 people apply for permits to climb Yushan. Only 0 are selected through a fair lottery system. Rich or poor, famous or unknown, the mountain chooses randomly. The ascent strips away social hierarchies. CEOs help struggling students. Grandmothers outpace young athletes. Shared difficulty creates instant equality. Mountain huts become temporary democracies where sleeping arrangements get negotiated, food gets shared equitably, and decisions about weather and safety get made collectively. Natural challenges create natural cooperation. But here's the deeper lesson. Yushan belongs to indigenous Banun people who've managed these forests for thousands of years. Modern democracy must acknowledge original democracy. The mountain permit system balances conservation with access, indigenous rights with national identity. It's a masterclass in democratic compromise, protecting what matters while sharing what's possible. At the summit, watching sunrise above the clouds, social differences vanish. Everyone becomes equally small before nature's grandeur. That's democracy's ultimate lesson. We're all equally human. Have you experienced a place that made you feel both insignificant and connected to something larger? That's the power of shared transcendence. This humility before nature shaped Taiwan's approach to its greatest modern challenge. Number 12. The silicon heart that beats for the world. In sterile rooms cleaner than hospital operating theaters, Taiwan manufactures the dreams and anxieties of 8 billion people. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company produces 90% of the world's most advanced chips. Every smartphone, every electric car, every AI system depends on this island smaller than Switzerland. This isn't just manufacturing, it's geopolitical power. When Taiwan's fabs shut down for earthquakes or typhoons, global stock markets tremble. One island controls the digital nervous system of human civilization. The fabrication plants operate like temples of precision. Workers move through clean rooms like priests performing sacred rituals, creating miracles measured in nanometers. Each chip contains more transistors than there are stars visible to the naked eye. The irony is profound. An island historically ignored by world powers now holds the keys to every major power's future. Semiconductors became Taiwan's shield and sword simultaneously, yet TSMC's founders chose to stay rooted in Taiwanese values, long-term thinking, collaborative relationships, and quiet excellence. They didn't just master technology, they made technology serve community. Your phone, your car, your computer, they're all partially Taiwanese, whether you know it or not. How does it feel to discover that this small island democracy powers your digital life? But Taiwan's greatest export isn't technology, it's something more powerful. Number 13. The soft power that conquered Asia. A drink invented by accident in 1988 conquered Asia, then the world. Bubble tea isn't just Taiwan's gift to global culture, it's liquid diplomacy. From Tokyo to Toronto, from London to Lagos, those chewy tapioca pearls carry Taiwan's DNA. Every sip introduces the world to Taiwanese innovation, hospitality, and joy. But bubble tea was just the beginning. Night markets, beef noodle soup, xiaolongbao, and Taiwan's cafe culture now influence food scenes globally. Soft power flows through stomachs and smiles. Each bubble tea shop becomes a cultural embassy, staffed by young entrepreneurs who share stories along with sweet drinks. Customers discover Taiwan through taste, texture, and the infectious enthusiasm of servers, who treat every order like a cultural exchange. Unlike military or economic power, cultural influence spreads voluntarily. People choose Taiwan's gifts because they improve life. They make the world more delicious, more social, more fun. This soft power carries deeper values. Taiwan's version of Chinese culture includes democracy, diversity, and freedom. Every bubble tea shop becomes a subtle advertisement for liberal democracy. Cultural influence might be Taiwan's most sustainable power. Military strength fades, economic advantages shift, but once the world loves your food, that love endures forever. What's the most powerful cultural export from your country? Has food ever changed your opinion about a place? The connection between cuisine and politics is fascinating. This cultural confidence flows from Taiwan's greatest achievement, something most countries struggle with. Number 14. The identity that wrote itself. In one family dinner, you might hear Mandarin, Taiwanese, Hokkien, Hakka, and indigenous languages, plus English and Japanese phrases. This is Taiwan writing its identity in real time. Taiwanese identity isn't inherited, it's constantly negotiated. Indigenous peoples who lived here for millennia, Han Chinese settlers from centuries past, post-1949 mainland refugees, Southeast Asian immigrants. Everyone becomes Taiwanese differently. What's remarkable is the integration without erasure. Aboriginal place names remain standard. Hakka cultural festivals receive government support. Mainland Chinese regional cuisines thrive. New immigrant communities add fresh flavors. Parliamentary debates feature representatives who speak different native languages but share common democratic values. Traditional festivals blend customs from multiple cultures while creating distinctly Taiwanese celebrations. This multicultural democracy proves that national identity can be inclusive rather than exclusive. Being Taiwanese means embracing complexity, not simplifying it. The younger generation seamlessly blends identities equally comfortable with indigenous mythology, Chinese philosophy, Japanese aesthetics, and American pop culture. They're not confused, they're complete. In a world increasingly divided by identity politics, Taiwan demonstrates that belonging can multiply rather than subtract. You can be many things simultaneously without being less of anything. Type 1 if your community celebrates multiple identities. 2 if it demands choosing sides. Taiwan's approach might offer lessons for everywhere. This inclusive identity prepared Taiwan for the ultimate test, surviving in an impossible situation. Number 15. The impossible country that refuses to disappear. By every logical measure, Taiwan shouldn't exist. Too small to matter. Too isolated to survive. Too pressured to remain free. Yet here it thrives. Impossible and undeniable. Most countries face external threats. Taiwan faces existential questions. What happens to a democracy that most of the world can't officially recognize? How do you build a future when your present is constantly contested? The answer is magnificent, stubbornness disguised as cheerful resilience. Taiwan functions as a normal country while pretending it's not one. It hosts international conferences it can't officially attend. It trades with countries that don't recognize it. Athletes compete in the Olympics under creative names. Diplomats conduct business through unofficial channels. Citizens travel on passports that exist in political limbo. Yet somehow, everything works. This impossible situation created an unexpected strength, radical self-reliance coupled with radical openness. When you can't depend on official alliances, you build human connections instead. Taiwan gives aid without expectation of recognition. It shares technology without demanding credit. It practices democracy without preaching about democracy. Soft power flows from genuine service, not propaganda. Every day, 23 million people wake up in a country that officially doesn't exist, practice democracy that officially isn't recognized, and build futures that officially aren't guaranteed. Yet they smile, create, love, and dream anyway. This is perhaps Taiwan's greatest gift to the world, proof that dignity doesn't depend on recognition, that democracy doesn't require permission, that existence transcends acknowledgement. In your experience, what makes a place real? Official recognition or the quality of life lived there? Taiwan forces us to examine what truly matters about home, belonging, and being human. Step back from these 15 facts, and a larger truth emerges. Taiwan isn't just a country that works, it's proof that impossible things can work. Every contradiction we've witnessed, ancient temples housing modern prayers, high-tech industry serving traditional values, inclusive identity born from exclusive pressures, reveals a deeper pattern. Taiwan succeeds precisely because it embraces paradox instead of resolving it. In a world demanding simple answers, Taiwan offers complex harmony. In an age of choosing sides, it demonstrates multiple belonging. In a time of digital isolation, it preserves human connection. Perhaps Taiwan's greatest lesson isn't political or economic, it's psychological. How do you live fully when your future is uncertain? How do you build community when your identity is contested? How do you remain hopeful when your existence is questioned? The answer is beautifully simple. You live as if your life matters, because it does. You treat others as if their dignity matters, because it does. You build community as if tomorrow is guaranteed, because hope makes it so. Taiwan's true miracle isn't its technology or democracy or cuisine. It's the radical decision to choose joy and connection despite uncertainty, to remain human despite dehumanizing pressures. In a world that often feels impossible, Taiwan whispers a different truth. Impossible doesn't mean powerless. Sometimes, the most impossible places become the most necessary examples. Remember those wishes released into the sky on paper lanterns? Now you understand what they carry, not just personal dreams, but collective hope, the faith that tomorrow will honor today's kindness. That stranger who becomes family over 2 a.m. soup? That's not just Taiwanese hospitality, that's a democracy that works because it remembers that politics serves people, not the other way around. Taiwan teaches us that the most revolutionary act isn't protest or rebellion, it's the quiet insistence on living fully, loving openly, and building community despite every reason to give up. If these stories changed how you see community, democracy, or what it means to belong, share this journey. Share it for the people who might never walk Taiwan's night markets, but could carry Taiwan's lessons into their own communities. Here's what I need to know. After witnessing Taiwan's approach to impossible challenges, what impossible thing in your own community suddenly seems possible? What contradiction in your life might actually be a source of strength? If you're ready to see more places that shouldn't work but do, more communities that choose connection over division, more proof that the impossible is just another word for not yet, join this journey. Subscribe not just for travel, but for hope. Because sometimes, the most important destinations aren't places you visit, they're ways of seeing you carry with you forever.